Welcome back to my channel. If you like this type of video, don't forget to subscribe, give us a huge thumbs up, press the notification bell and leave a comment. This is the project of today. As usual, if you want to learn a lot more in the world of crochet, I invite you to join Crafty Crocheters, a masterclass where you will learn everything in the world of crochet from absolute beginner to advanced and stitches you have never seen before. More in the description box.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do this beautiful Christmas tree. It's so easy. We're gonna start with our slip knot. If you're a beginner and you don't know how to do it, I have a full tutorial for you on how to do the slip knot. And we're gonna chain 3. Again, if you don't know how to chain, I have another tutorial ready for you as well. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back and work on that first chain that we have created next to our slip knot. Be really careful, pull a little bit with your finger before you do the slip stitch, because that little tiny circle is gonna be so hard to be visible once we start working right now. You're gonna chain 3 and you're gonna find our center. The center of our circle is a little hole on our right hand side. The left hand side is our last stitch where we did the slip knot, okay? We're gonna be working on UK trebles and US double crochets, so that works this way. You're gonna yarn over your hook, go inside your center, you're gonna yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through other 2, and there you have your first stitch done. The more you work in the circle, the bigger the circle is gonna get and you're gonna easily see it. We're gonna do another stitch more, so we are gonna create 2 in total because our first chain counts as 1. So there you go, your first 3 stitches together. We're gonna chain 2 and we're gonna work another 3 3 treble crochets or double crochets on the US. You can help yourself and start hiding a little bit the tail of your project, so you're gonna secure that tail, so later on once we finish it's 1, easier to hide it, and 2, more secure at the point of being finished. You're gonna chain 2 again and work in another group of 3, which will be our last. We are creating the center of the tree, which will have like a little shape of a triangle. You're gonna see it in a moment right now. Once you work those 3 stitches again together, you're gonna chain 2 again, go back to the first chain of 3 that we created at the beginning. You're gonna go to the top chain and you're gonna do a slip knot. So that's gonna be your way to close up the center of the tree. Try to hide that tail a little bit to the back so it won't bother you on the center. As you can see, we have this beautiful triangle already made right now. That's what the 2 chains create in between stitches. You're gonna chain 3 again. Right now we're gonna jump until the next chain space, so we're gonna chain 2 more. You're gonna move and do stitches on the chain space. Okay, we're gonna do again the UK treble and the US double crochet. Again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're gonna do that for 3 times. You're gonna chain 2 again, and on that same space you're gonna again create a group of 3 stitches, same as we did before, but now we are working 2 sets of 3 in one same chain space. Chain 2 again, and let's move along to the other space where we're gonna do exactly the same. We are going to yarn over, pull through the chain, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 3 times. Once you've done that 3 times, we're gonna chain 2 again, so that's a new corner that we are creating, and we are gonna do another set of 3 stitches. The only difference is gonna be on the last space right now. You're gonna see, because remember that the first chains that we create, they count as a stitch. So I'm gonna show you right now what do we have to do to turn that chains into an actual stitch without creating extra stitches. So you're gonna move to the last chain space. You're gonna do 3 UK treble US double crochets. You're gonna chain 2 again to create that extra corner that we need to move along on our project. Chain 2, and then you're gonna do 2 stitches, because the third one, it's gonna be the chains that we create at the beginning of this row. What you're gonna do is you're gonna count 3, you have 5 chains, right? Remember? You're gonna count 3, go to the third one, and you're gonna do a slip knot, and you just close it. Because the extra 2 chains that we did was to create the chain space in between stitches. As you can see, our triangle, it's growing slightly bigger. If you want to make this tree bigger than what I'm doing, I will suggest you that you do another round, not the one that I'm gonna do now, but repeat what we've done now. Rather than 3 stitches on each chain gap, you're gonna make 4. We're gonna start working on the bottom of our tree now. What we're gonna do is chain 3, and we are going to make 4 treble crochets or double crochets in the same chain space. That's going to create the bottom of our tree, okay, the trunk of our tree. Then what we're gonna do is, we have now 5 stitches actually, because that first chain cuts 1, but we have to have 6 stitches. So you're gonna chain 2, you're gonna go through the same chain space, and you are going to slip stitch, and there you go, you have created your 6th stitch on the bottom of your tree. Now to move along, what we're gonna do is, you're gonna chain 2, and you're gonna move to the first corner, which is the first chain space that we have. This time we're gonna create 4 stitches on that space. Now we are doing the bottom of the tree, so we have to create that beautiful curve, that beautiful shape for the tree. So you're gonna do 4 stitches, you're gonna chain 2, and you're gonna do again another set of 4 stitches. So that way we create the shape of the bottom. Now this time we're kind of finishing our tree, so we are not gonna have to create any more chain spaces. The opposite, we have to hide those chain spaces so we don't have extra corners. The way to do that will be chain 2. Do you see the previous stitches that we have before? Like you can see there's those gaps in between. There's 1 in there, a second and a third. You're gonna go in the middle one, and you're gonna do a slip stitch over there. Can you see the V over your hook? Slip stitch, and that's how you have moved without creating an extra chain space that will create an extra shape on our tree. Now let's move along to the center of our tree. Chain 2, go to that center space and create 4 stitches on that same space. This time you're not going to create double sets of 4 stitches. Why? Because we want to create a flat surface, a flat area on that space, as is the middle of our tree. You're going to chain 2. Once you're finished, you're going to go again to those stitches that we created on the previous row. You're going to go to the middle one and do another slip stitch over there. Now it's time to move to the top of our tree. You're going to chain 2. You're going to build 4 stitches one more time, and this time there are 2 options. You can continue with this chain 2 as we've been doing all the project, or you can actually chain 3 to make the pointing area of our tree a little bit more visible. I have chained 3 because I want that area to be quite visible, and because I'm gonna turn this into an ornament, I want to have that pointing area where I can easily put a chain that I'm gonna show you later on how to create it. That's why I chain 3, but feel free to chain just 2. Once you've done your sets of 2 times 4 and your chains, we're gonna chain 2, and it's time to move to the center of our tree. Before, we have worked on our previous row on the 2nd stitch. This time we're actually gonna work on the 3rd stitch, which is the closest one to the next chain space. You're gonna slip stitch over there, and you're gonna move to the next chain space. In the next chain space, we're gonna chain 2 once more, and we're gonna create 4 stitches as we did in the other side. Once you create your 4 stitches, again we have to move to the stitches of the previous row. So what we're gonna do is, again this time, we're gonna work on the farthest stitch, which will be our 3rd stitch of the previous row. We're gonna slip stitch once more, and we're gonna work on our last chain space, chaining 2 and creating 2 sets of 4. So remember, 4 stitches, chain 2, 4 stitches. So we are creating once more the same curve shape that we did on the other side. You need to match both sides, okay? So you are repeating the same that you did in the other side. Remember, you chain 2 in between every 4 stitches, and the way to close this one and to make that round shape on the bottom that we build it up on ourselves at the beginning of this last row, we're gonna go to the bottom of the tree. You're gonna chain 2, and do you see that bottom of the chains that we created before over there? Okay, you're gonna go in there and you are going to slip stitch over there to connect one area with another, so you will have the same shape that you did before. We're not yet done. We are gonna do one more round on the bottom of our tree to make it more coming out and visible, but first we need to finish our round, and to do that you're gonna go to the top of the stitches that you create, the chains that you create at the beginning, and you're gonna do a slip stitch. After that you're gonna chain 2, and remember we did 6 stitches over there. Right now you can only see 4 if you can count that way. 1 is hiding, and 2, our chain count as a stitch, but this time we're gonna do something we haven't done before, which is we're gonna work from the first stitch next to our chain. Yes, we are kind of creating 1 extra stitch. Remember that I said in previous videos, but we are actually working on our 6 stitches. Otherwise you will only be doing 5. You will be doing 5 and you will think that you are done, but there's 1 in there, it's hidden. If you do not do that stitch, unfortunately you will be jumping 1 stitch and it's going to be way too visible when you finished. So make sure you do that stitch, and make sure you are done with all of your stitches. Chain 1, take your scissors and cut off the end of your project. Pull a little bit to close that knot and make sure it's nice and secure. Pull your ends of your tree a little bit so you get all of those pointing areas, the bottom of your tree as well. Sometimes the yarn can get a little bit stuck in between or moved around, so just create the proper beautiful shape of this easy tree that we have created. And now comes the time to hide our tails, our ends. The way to do it is you're gonna take your yarning needle and you're gonna work in between the stitches that we've worked all this way. It's so easy to hide it. I will not suggest you go through areas where there's only 1 single yarn. Just go through the areas where there are actual stitches going on. And the way I like to do it as well, I like to go up and down on the tree, going around, so I make sure that this yarn gets all tangly around the project, so there is kind of physically not way to easily take out that yarn and remove the project anymore. Okay, don't forget that we as well have the back yarn. Yes, we did try of hold it together with our stitches to secure it and make sure it won't move around, but just to make it more secure, make sure that you push it as well inside our circle. I like to actually pull it a little bit before I do that, so I close and secure the center of our tree, and then we go again with our yarn needle and we hide it away. Make sure it's all done, cut your ends off, and you could be done if this is what we're doing. But if you're doing an ornament like me, we're gonna repeat what we did in previous videos, which is we are going to create a chain of stitches to create a hook. So what you're gonna do is pass your yarn through the top bit of the tree and chain 20. Once you have chain 20, it's as simple as go back to that first stitch where you start building up these chain stitches and do a slip knot. Once you've done that, you will have 2 ends. Because this is a part that is absolutely out of the project, I'll suggest that you secure those 2 ends together by creating a really tight knot, and then you spend a few more extra minutes hiding away those tails and then cutting your ends. You want to make sure, as I say, that this won't come off, and because it's absolutely away from the project, it's quite easy to lose it. But once you hide those tails and once you pull it really, really tight to make sure it's nice and secure, congratulations, you have created your first Christmas tree ornament. As you can see, it's really easy, it's really beautiful, and I hope you like it, and I see you on the next video. Bye now.